Pare. Just got home. Let me set up the shop a little bit while we're... Go make yourself a coffee. I got one. Oh, let's put on some music too. The ruler of those kinds of things. I just take care of my thing and that's it. Get to work in the morning, come home and do my thing. Whew. Okay, so yesterday's lesson, if you were watching, let's test the chat and make sure it's working. So, if the sound is too loud, everything's all funky, tell me in the chat and we'll work it out. Subscribe if you're on Twitch, the Ron Pare channel, or the JaSM channel, Just Another Scale Modeler channel. Woohoo! Hey Walt, thanks for stopping by. Subscribe. Whatever channel you're watching from, subscribe and you'll be getting a little notification in the middle of the screen here. Got a zombie in there right now, but I'll probably change that. I'm not really horror movie kind of guy. So we'll probably get a wizard in there. I like Harry Potter. We'll try to get something like that in there. But subscribe, see, get your name up on the screen so everybody can see it in the after show. We got a mail call today. It's not really from normal people, like normal people. I think Judy would really appreciate me calling her abnormal. Judy Corchado, aka Dark Dio Studios on YouTube. Somebody sent her some figures, and she said she wasn't gonna do anything with them because she's into the bigger figures. I think it's 112 or the action figures kind of thing. And these are I think these are 148 O scale, and these are probably 132, which is the smallest of G scale range. The G scale range. Unless you start getting big, they start combining scales and stuff like that. Maybe the NRA should go and try to fix that. I don't know. I'm not gonna say any more about that. That was trouble. So this is from Judy. I'm gonna have to send her a message on Facebook and let her know that I got them in good order. And then we're gonna have a bunch of figures to be able to learn how to paint figures on. I figured it'll probably take me about a year to paint all of these, and next year I want to start doing large scale stuff. My daughter got me this nice knife the other day. I love that. She knows exactly what her daddy would like. A nice number 11 blade. So these are some kits by City Classics. Right on. I've been looking forward to these for a long time. I heard the gentleman's interview on Lionel Strang's The Modeler's Life, and I just had to contact him and find out if I could hook up, and we did hook up. Which he's a, you know, there's some people in this hobby who are just amazing, down to earth people, and you know, you really, you know, some of them you feel like shooting yourself in the head for even trying, but some of them are very down-to-earth people. So now we got City Classics, store interior. Oh, right on. When I was working on the layout in North Carolina, there was a lot of these kits, and the one thing that really stood out for me was the window dressings in the sign, the names that go over the windows. They just look really good, and now I get to make my own. Now I get to try them out, review the products. This is awesome. Yeah, window dressings. You gotta keep the foam in play here. Keep it in the box, otherwise it's just all trouble. So here we've got a 102 Penn Ave tile front building. To go on my email and thank him and Judy real quick. I don't know if you noticed at the end of last show yesterday, I ended the show pretty quickly because I dropped some paint onto the keyboard of the laptop. It was a panic situation. I got a shout out on Ken Patterson's What's Neat video yesterday. It seems like when you get that kind of thing happening, the idiots come out of the bush. They gotta be careful. I'm gonna pull out my stick soon. Ago, I can remember stuff, but if it happened within the last year, a little sketchy. using JaSM. Bring your empty windows to life, pre-printed window treatments for your miniature buildings, and more, eh? So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Now I like to get the kits done in the order I receive them in though, so these will be worked on after the waterfront series. We actually have so much stuff coming in right now that I might have to put back the Old Bay District a little bit. But then if I'm streaming every day, that means I got 2 hours work that I'll do pretty much every day. So that I actually listened to my video yesterday and noticed that it sounded like I was yelling. You guys got to tell me if like, help me with the adjustments. If I get the adjustments proper, set and forget it, right? Hopefully. So this is going to be done soon. What I've got planned for this is I've got some Imagine That Laser out art L sections, kind of like this stuff. I gotta send this back. They sent this to me a couple of years ago, but I've got a bunch of these sections around. So I'm going to build a diorama with these two buildings, a structure that's going to be coming in the mail pretty soon, and so that's going to be hot. And the thing is why I'm doing this project is I've got a client who wants it to happen, so. Put these over to the side. I want to take a break from the K&W. You know, it's nice to do a little break in between videos so that, you know, people can check them out over a period of time, you know. So we're going to start looking at this kit, which is from Carolina Craftsman Kits. It's a brand new kit. It doesn't really have a box yet, so lots of doodads and parts in it. Let me get rid of this box. So we got you know, I always say, you know, get yourself some nice boxes like this so you can keep your projects together. So this is bet you it's roofing. These are some billboards for the roof. Some nice signs. Lettering looks pretty good on the signs. These ones are a little faded. These ones look inkjet. These ones look like they're laser printed. These inkjet ones, well, if they are inkjet ones, you'd be able to fade them up really good. We got detail parts. It's old school pallets. We got a plaster air conditioning unit. We've got a vent. We've got railroad signs. Acetate for the windows. I've got just the technique for this. We'll come up with that in a second. Maybe we should do that first. I've got the diorama base for this already made up. So we got laser cut roofing. Different kinds. We got a thin kind. We got thicker card kind. We've got chimneys, lights. We got a couple of. We got a set of stairs. Scale wood. I don't like songs with words. by 4 1/8 inch. 1 foot by, or 12 inch by 4 inch and 1/8. And one of the structures sit off to the side, but we'll see. These will probably fit nicely on Old Bay District 2, beside where we got the bar and the restaurant. I don't know. I don't know what the place is, but if I can find some patio lanterns, it's on. I'm going to check this out real quick on OBD1 to see what angle I want to put it on, maybe, and then I'm gonna go back behind me here and get the base, the temporary base, because we'll build this on a temporary base and get it done for the purposes of our live streams. But then we'll take all that stuff off of the base and put it on OBD2, because I think this would be a good way to transition The angle on the Old Bay District 2 makes it so that I really can't picture it properly unless we got the two together, and that's not going to happen for a while yet. So I don't really want to cut up the dock right away. I'm just going to start working on these buildings one by one. So we're going to start with the bait shop. I came up with the new rules since yesterday was such a failure. Well, it wasn't a failure. Right at 2 hours, the paint tipped over onto the keyboard, and you can actually see it at the end of the video where it was like Panic City. I did something to the keyboard, and then somehow the screen on the computer turned sideways. It was pretty whacked out. Then I did what everybody does when they panic. Is I did the hard shut off, unplug the computer, start doing CPR on the keyboard, sucking paint out. And it looks like we only have one key that is a little stiff, which is a success if you ask me. So let's go back. I like to go through the instructions when I'm doing these kits. Like Jeff and the other guys who I do reviews for say you don't need the instructions. And the thing is if I'm going to review the kit, I want to do two things. I want to contact him or the person who's sending me the kit with mistakes. And, usually these are just grammar errors. And I'm one to talk because I'm terrible at grammar. But, sometimes they forget to say something, And, most of the time these guys are right into fixing the instructions. Like they'll go back and print a new page or something like that. Grumbling, I'm sure. So it's good to go over the kit instructions and tell them that privately. Like I'm not going to pull a monster on them and freak out and stick my finger down their throat. It's not gonna happen. It's not necessary. There's lots of washing out on the paper. I'm hoping that the new camera I get will Hey Infinity, how are you doing? Yeah, when he gets home today, I'll get him to check you out. You're in New Zealand, so our times are totally backwards, but he's on when you're at. You'll hook up in the next week for sure. I got a blue that I got the other day that I want to try out. I'm thinking that these Ah, okay. There's not enough pigment in this paint. However, I think I'll get to my color with tropical blue and medium gray. Probably gonna have to make some more thinner though. I don't know where his profile is. I think he is Dylan He Builder on YouTube. Yeah, true, Bill. I've actually wanted to try to find some masted ships to build for my harbor scene, or maybe just to put into the scenes every once in a while. You know, have a nice shelf of boats. But we'll see. So I figure this is gonna look good. We're gonna have to experiment though. This might be a dud. Might end up being a dud. But we're gonna use tropical blue. And we're gonna use medium gray. Awesome. So it looks like we've got 10 people on right now. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you are from Europe, please consider letting me know where you're from. I know Billy's from Rochester, and Infinity's from New Zealand, I think, and then Wally or Walt, who's a patron supporter. Thank you, Wally, for that. Is from Michigan. It's nice to know where everybody's from in the call. I don't know. It's something that it interests me. So humor me. Humor me. Yes, it is Infinity. It's on Twitch too. Please go over there and check it out. Make sure it's working. Just Another Scale Modeler is the channel. Now when mixing paint, I got some brushes that I use, that I sometimes clean up CA with, Crazy Glue. I like to use those for mixing up the paint, because number one, they really don't let the paint penetrate into the brush. And number two, when I clean up the brush in thinner and stuff like that, it makes it it'll clean it off a little bit more. So that coming out against me, but that's all good. It's expected. But I got some praise last night. Somebody was sitting there trying to tell somebody to buy Dave Frary's book. And in the very last line of the comment, he said, Dave Frary and Ron Pare are my two favorite modelers at this time. And it's like, what? Wow, that was came out of the blue. That was really cool. My crap memory. I wish I remembered his name right off the top of my head. But, you know, it's really nice to... it's really nice to hear that you're appreciated every once in a while, you know? Huh. Hey, Michael. Welcome back. How do I give you a shout out? You could say, Infinity Gaming wants me to put my link in chat. Just kidding. Here, I'm getting you the link here. Yeah, it shows me on. I just want to figure out if I want to use this grayish white. Ooh. Yeah, the white's probably going to be better. I'm just painting these full strength because if I'm going to come back and dirty them up, I'll just do it with ink and alcohol. Now I can also use a wire brush to whittle away a little bit of the paint. Now I'm painting these windows in the sprue, but it's almost a requirement to paint them twice because the paint comes off of the plastic really easy. I don't like mucky plastic windows. The other thing is that the paint gets like really modulating. Like it's you can see thin parts of paint with the gray showing through in full strength paint, and in plastic parts that kind of gets to be a pattern. So I really don't like patterns. I'll leave those to dry. To tell you the truth, I'm almost done with coffee for the day. almost time to break into a beer. Then do the lawn. I don't like to do the lawn than do beer. I'm so allergic to grass. I'd rather be a little tipsy when I'm getting thrown into the hospital. My water spray bottle is a necessity, and I'm not seeing it. Hey CB, thanks for stopping by. A bunch more people came in. If you haven't been on the stream before, even if you have been on the stream before, comment in the comments and say hi. Tell us where you're from. I think CB's from Pennsylvania, possibly. Gotta keep on reminding myself because of my bad memory. Okay. One, two. Don't fuss around with cutting the bracing boards. You know, we just want to get a general size, put a mark on the wood, and break it right there. It doesn't come off clean. Once you've got it broken, it really cuts really easily. Now I'm going to get 4 of these, this size. There'll be no fuss. No fuss model railroading. Got a shout out by Ken Patterson yesterday. In his video, I think he recorded my video off of his TV screen or something like that. The video quality went down. But the immediate reaction I got out of people, not people, it was 2 guys, and they're like, oh yeah, Ken Patterson respects you so much, you had the shittiest video on the, excuse my language, the crappiest video on his whole episode. And it's like, I don't care as long as he spells my name right, it's all good in the hood for me. Trolls will do anything to make you feel bad. The great thing about it is that there was like 3 times as many people who congratulated me. So that was, you know, it's... I've been guilty of it too. If you feel like trolling somebody, go for it. Hey! Thanks, buddy. Try out the follow me, well, the follow me or whatever it is on Twitch, and get your little, see if the alert works. If any of you watching, out there are not subscribed, 60% of all the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. And if that's you, please subscribe. And then there's a little song and a dance. I got a little zombie who comes out and kind of like the Wolfman Jack, except Wolfman Jack's been dead for 20 years. Yeah. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. But it seems like the lag's not too bad. There's not much lag. That's awesome. Okay. Piece is fixed. I gotta be very judicious with my glue because I'm running out. I'm gonna do an episode on glues and I'm gonna buy all the brands of glue that are around me and we're gonna test them all out and be done with it. There you go! It's working! That's working! That's working! Now, if you're on the Ron Pare channel and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe, see if it works. We know the Just Another Scale Modeler channel on YouTube works. Well, it might be broken. Check it out. I'm gonna have to put a sign on my monitor saying that you gotta look up to the camera because I'm looking at the screen, not at the camera, which is like two different things. Right on. Right on. Infinity Gaming Judicious 23. Got another shout out. Okay, so we're gonna weight this down. Now I like to take my bracing and put it right to the very edge of the board so that, well, you kind of have to. If you don't put it really nicely right at the edge of the wall sections, what happens is when you glue them together, working. So I really don't hear the music until I really don't like it. My stream runs with open broadcasting software, aka OBS. Subscribe, buddy. Hey, here, I'll show you my screen for a second. This, you can see that the screen goes into nowhere, but this is called OBS software. You can see my microphone running here. This is my desktop. The music in the background. You see I have all my channels set up. I'll go back so. You switch between different scenes so that you can do different stuff, your tutorials, what have you. Now this piece of wood right here, it goes in right here on the inside, and this piece is pretty deceiving. You might think to yourself, oh, I want to paint that before I put it onto the wall, but this is definitely going to have to be painted after it's glued and dried onto the piece of bracing, because this piece will be destroyed by paint. Any form of water into this bugger will be destroyed. The sidewalls, they get one piece of bracing right in the middle, because on the front and back walls we have bracing on the sides. So the corners will get taken care of by the front and back. That's where they all join and glue together. So we only glue the inside portion right beside this door here. And this wall goes on the back, and it has all the bracing off of the other walls. Now, if we were going to paint and weather this board before we put it on the walls, we would want to put a piece of bracing on it anyways, near the middle. We would want to check it. We would check all the other walls to make sure that we didn't have any overlapping, because you know, if you have overlapping after the bracing's been glued on, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have to come back with your knife and fix it, which is crazy. Don't do it. So these three pieces here have to dry real good. I'll get the back piece done. Sorry, Billy. I switched it, and then it wasn't. I guarantee you, it wasn't Depeche Mode. But it did actually, in my mind, it does. I kind of remember it being like Depeche Mode. I'm not really. I don't really get too worked up about the angle on the edge of the kerf, on the edge of the laser cuts, because there is a kerf. Like when the flame goes in there, it flares off, and at the sides it kind of turns into a V. Yeah, the lag is 4 minutes, uh, Billy. But on the weekends, How can I lose this stuff? It's right in front of me. What I'm doing here is using scenic glue and trying to glue on my acetate with as little glue as possible. We're just doing a little experiment. Maybe it'll work nicely, you know? Hey, Digger, no problem. No problem. Better late than never. If you're watching this for the first time, or maybe you watch a bunch of my videos and are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. You might get a little surprise on the screen there. No, I'm not telling. You gotta subscribe to find out. You know the one big problem I have about cutting a big slice of acetate is just trying out a new thing here where instead of using full strength glue, I'm trying out scenic glue that's all thinned out. I'm hoping that it'll, number one, glue in nice. Number two, fog up the windows just a little bit. I don't really want my windows to be clean in any way. I don't want to have interiors on these structures. However, when we build those City Classic buildings that arrived today, those will have crystal clear windows so that we can see those interiors and cards and stuff. And I'll probably have my LEDs arrived by then, so I'll probably put a little bit of lighting in the interior. I don't know, what are you, part of a hobby shop or something, Patrick? What's the score? We do make us like we do. There's creative ways to advertise on the Modelers Guild without looking like you're advertising. So it depends what the product is. Let me know exactly what it is, and I'll shoot you the strategy. I'm a young lad, so I really don't care. Like I don't really care about promotions and stuff like that. But my partner in crime, Bob Boudreau, he doesn't like it at all. Excuse the camera, sorry. So I got a lot of white paint in here. I've got to change brushes. So Bob might biff your message. So let me know what it is, and we'll hash it out. Carpet monster. I thought I was the carpet monster. Oh, he said it out loud. I had to. I'm sorry. Now I'll probably be the only one who gets it. Come on. Oh, the tape. Tape. I was like, the green tap. Window shades, good idea. Of using a sponge. I like to wet brush things, and as you can see, I leave a little bit out. Comment below the post said, if anybody in the camp gray, and I kind of gave it a little depth to the blue with the medium gray. I didn't really want to have a nice bright tropical blue, but I couldn't find the color that I bought specifically for this, and it's pretty close to that color right now. I might after the fact I'll come back and dry brush maybe some white, or maybe even some straight tropical blue over top. We'll see. I'll test that as it goes, but we'll see. And I'm wet brushing. I'm not really dry brushing. Like, I'm not taking the paint off of the brush, like in dry brushing, where you take 90% of the brush paint off and work with the 10% you've got left. I'm working with all of the paint on the brush, but I'm not sticking the paint right into the puddle. Like, I kind of bring the paint up on the side of the cup and then just touch it into the paint so that it kind of dabs itself off. Like, this is like, it kind of seems like I'd be grabbing a lot of paint doing that, but I don't. It's not a lot of paint on the brush, but it is considered wet brushing, and it's still not. You can make it so it doesn't do 100% coverage, which is the idea. I want to leave some spots out so that when I come back and put some alcohol on it, and yeah, I'm going to put alcohol on after, it's going to muck all the paint up. Like, putting ink and alcohol on your model, like, if you're gonna put it on after you paint it, you should be doing it on purpose, because when you put your ink and alcohol on your paint, it really turns it black. Like, it really mucks it up. So test your painting out. In most cases, you want to have your ink and alcohol put on the wood first, so that you're coloring your wood. But these pieces are so small that they're very susceptible to warping. Like, pieces of clapboard this size is terribly susceptible to warping. So I hear the kids, they just came off the bus. I like to do my streams in 2-hour runs. So we got about 10 minutes left. I'm just going to paint these walls up and let them cure up. Next time we'll start putting the structure together. I want to thank you for watching. If you like what you see on these channels, please check out down in the bottom corner, patreon.com/Ron Pare. It really helps me out a lot. And if you're not into that, that's okay. I'll never be behind a paywall. Never charge you to get access. This content will be always free to all modelers. And if you become a patron, that's what you're helping to support. But if you don't want to be a patron, that's cool. Just subscribe. Dabbing off the extra paint. Oh yeah, Patrick, you said buy your LEDs off of you. You're about a week. You're about 2 weeks too late telling me about that. I got probably about 100 LEDs, the micros, coming on the slow boat from China. Now I know I said earlier don't paint this piece because it doesn't have a piece of bracing on the back, and I meant it. Yeah, I'm talking to you. But you know what they say. Do as I say, not as I do. You might be saying, what about the nail holes? We'll add those, don't worry. So we've got this last piece here, and I'm not going to paint it because that's a little bit too small. The specific reason for this will be the last tip of the shoe. Our grain is running this way. So on this one, the grain is 2.5 or 1.5 inches long. So it'll hold itself good with the paint. A little bit of moisture is gonna fight it. But when you've got a 1/4 inch, each of these strands are a 1/4 inch, and if any of them get wet, they're just going to destroy this piece, and it's going to turn into a 1/4 inch too long. And I don't want to do that. So we'll paint that after. I'm going to put a little bit of paint, or a little bit of tap, Jason, over top of my paint so that I don't have to remix another batch. With the tape on top, it'll be good for till tomorrow. Won't be good forever. If I wanted it to be good forever, I'd throw it in the fridge. So, yeah, I started the group in 2007 or 2008, Patrick. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've subscribed. Subscribe? Did you subscribe? I'll get my mom to call you up. She's going to say, you watch my son's channel, and you better subscribe. Okay, so let me get over here and figure out when the stream is done. Live streaming. I gotta put my hand up like this. Mute one, buddy. So I got my hand up like this to tell myself that the stream is done. Thanks for watching, everybody. Talk to you later.